Hello, hello, bonsoir, 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 comment vous allez? Happy Friday, everyone. So, today we're doing past perfect, okay? So, jeudi, nous va faire past perfect et puis nous va l'expliquer nous dans your lodge. So, if you guys can please share the live, invite someone. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds and I will be right back. Thank you. Okay, I am back. So, this is what I want you guys to know about past perfect. Past perfect explain which action that took place before in the past. So we know so much action, many actions happen in the past. Which one happens first? That's where past perfect came from, okay? So we're going to start with our first one, okay? Past perfect dou kon sa ke gen pil aksyon ki rive nan pase. Li explike ou ki aksyon ki rive avan yon lot aksyon. OK? N'a commencé avec première phrase là. I had visited, let me fix the V correctly. Okay. I had visited Indiana before I moved there. Okay. Now, if you're looking at this sentence carefully, I had visited Indiana before I moved there. This is the subject, okay? Ça c'est sujet. I am the subject, okay? Now, qui ça un sujet? Yon sujet, si je parle de Lenise, Lenise is the subject. If I'm talking about Evelyn, Evelyn is the subject. If I'm talking about Florette, Florette is the subject. So when you are reading a paragraph or when you are reading a chapter, whomever they are talking about, that's the subject, okay? Right here, if you're looking at the first sentence, I am the subject, okay? Now, sou gade fwa sa dou kon sa ke gen deux aksyon ki te rive nan pase, okay? I had visited Indiana, okay? That's one. And then I moved there. La, li bo deux aksyon ki te rive. Mwen te visite Indiana, epi mwen move Indiana, okay? Now, ke nepot fwa wap ekri yon phrase pou mette nan past perfect, always make sure after the subject you put had. Okay? Le wap fon phrase ensemble avec past perfect, toujours make sure que après sujet ou mette had. Okay? Now, I had visited. Si vous gardez phrase ça bien, okay? Look at this word right here, visited, okay? Lò di kon sa I had visited lan. Sou gade mo visited lan, wap di, this is the past participle. Okay? And sou kontinye, before I moved. Okay? This is simple past. Okay? Si m tap pale nan present simple, mwen tap retire there. Automatically ke mette there nan move, ou deja we se yon bagay ki pase deja. Okay? Now, this is what you have to figure out. You have to figure out of the two past, which one happened first. Nan, deux passe sa yo, ki es la de yo ki rive avant. Sa ki rive avant, that's where past perfect come in. I had visited Indiana. Okay? Before I moved there. Okay? Ki veut dire que avant de move Indiana, okay? Mwen te deja visite l deja, okay? So, premier action ki te fet lan, mwen te deja visite l, which is right here. The second action, lem fin visite Indiana, peut-être mka wè mremel, mka wè son bel state liye, gen pil progress, then I decide to move there. Okay? I had visited Indiana before I moved there. Now we're going to take a look at the second one, okay? Tina had bought the book before she read it. She read it, okay? Tina had bought the book before she read it. Okay, so which one is the subject here? Okay, so Tina's the subject. So I'm going to put an S right here. S stands for subject. Okay, and then I'm going to write had. Okay, bought. Bought is the past participle of buy. Okay, the book before she read it. Okay, sou gade sa, m pa ka di kon sa before she read it, parce que mwen li liv lan deja. Si mwen li liv lan deja, so therefore, mwen suppose met verb lan nan simple past pou m di before she read it. Ok, ki vle di ke avan li te lil. Tina t'achete yon liv avan que li te lil. Ok, now, anytime ou besoin montrer que qui action qui rive avant using past perfect, it's either what did before, which is right here. Okay? Ou bien ou ka di hold on, which one is it? By the time. This is another word. Okay? This one right here and that one, they mean the same thing. By the time I come on, okay? Ou bien before I came on. Tous les deux mots sa yo, mot sa avec fois ça, yo vle di même bagay. So it's either, mde ka di kon sa ke by the time she read it, ou bien mde ka di before she read it, c'est même bagay la. Okay? Tina had bought the book. That's the first action. And then she read it. Okay? Deux actions qui rive yo, Tina te acheté livre lan avant que li te li, qui vle di que avant que Tina te li livre lan, ok, li te déjà acheté. Première action, Tina bought the book. Deuxième action, she read it. Qui me dit li te li. Now, let's look at the third sentence. The bus had left, okay? What is the subject here? The bus. Okay? The bus had left by the time I got to the terminal. Okay? Qui vle di que bus lan te déjà allé, distance mwen te rive nan terminal la. Qui première action te rive? Bus la te gen ta allé. Deuxième action, mwen rive nan terminal la. Okay? Another word, I'm telling you, get deux actions qui te rive, but this one happened first. Okay? Let's look at the fourth one. When I arrived, again, I am the subject. So, S for I. When I arrived, they had already started cooking. Okay? Now, qui deux actions qui rive là? They started cooking, that's one. And I arrived. That's another one. So, pou ka figure out which action is the first one, wap li lonko very slowly. When I arrived, they had started cooking. So the first action that happened, they had started cooking and then I arrived. Okay? Qui vle di que yo te déjà commencé faire manger, okay, avant que moi rive. Deux actions qui fait dans passé, yo fait manger. Et puis, moi vin paraître. All right? So, let's look at this one right here. I had owned my phone for 3 months before it broke. Okay? Right here, this is the simple past. Okay? That's the past form of break. Okay? Si m'dap dil nan présent, m'dap dil break. Kounya se nan passé li, action rive déjà, so therefore, mwen di broke. Okay? I had owned my phone for 3 months before it broke. Okay? So, if you look at this sentence carefully, okay, sometimes when you are telling a story that happened in the past using past perfect, ou ka bay on timeline, okay? Law by timeline is telling you how long. How long did this action last? How long did this action endure? Qui veut dire que combien de temps action ça a duré? Combien de temps action ça a duré, okay? I had owned my phone for how long? For 3 months, okay? Then it broke, okay? Qui veut dire comme ça que moi t'ai déjà mettre téléphone là déjà. Moi t'ai déjà acheté téléphone là. Téléphone là t'es ton pam déjà. Deuxième action, l'aime fin ge téléphone moi pas doué sous li encore. Moi connais téléphone là c'est pour moi lié. Deuxième action qui fait, il vient craser, OK? That's past perfect. C'est ça fait. Les quelques moun a pas la voix dehors, the reason ou pensez que les moun nan ouvert bouche li pour dire une histoire ou parfois l'on moun a traduit pour ou dit comme ça que bon, moi dis un bagay bien long pour qui ça moun nan fait le coup. The reason why moun nan ka expliquer histoire coûte parce que li connaît verb perfectly. Si moun n'a traduit pour en pile action ou bien première action qui rive dans passé, la use past perfect. Mais moun qui pas kan verb liant, d'où ça la fait? La commencer dans présent, li use simple past, la drag story a bien long. Sometimes on kan dit comme ça que ou quoi intel qu'on traduit, moi dis pas la bien coûte. Pour qui ça li fait long? Ça fait long parce que gen moun les ou pas kan verb yo bien, yo fait shortcut. Et shortcut yo pense yo fait là pour yo même li shortcut parce que si yo pas kan verb ça, therefore they are unable to use that. OK? But ou même qui kan verbo instead pour longer histoire pour faire long, simply use the past perfect form. That's it. Let's get to the next one. Patrick had been lonely for a long time until he got a cat. What is the subject? Who is the subject? Patrick is the subject right here. What happened to Patrick? Patrick had been lonely for a long time. That's how long. Qui veut dire que Patrick, il était pour compte li pour longtemps. OK? Après ça, qui s'acrivait? Until he got a cat. Another word. Avant Patrick te gen chat lan, li te un moun qui te pour compte li. OK? Histoire ça abdou kon ça que ever since Patrick gen chat lan, li pa pour compte li encore. OK? Now, this one is telling you two actions took place. The first one, Patrick was alone for a long time. And then the second one, he got a cat. Okay? So since he got a cat, Patrick is no longer alone. He and I, okay, again, moi dis nou ça. Depuis ou parler de ou même ensemble avec un l'autre moun ou use non moun nan verb. If I'm going to talk about Evelyn and myself, I'm going to write Evelyn and I. If you're talking about your wife, okay, say like your wife name is Tina. You're going to say Tina and I. If you're talking about your husband name is Patrick. You will start by saying Patrick and I. Okay? He and I, l'autre dit he and I, là, ça veut dire que nèg la avem. Okay? Gen an pile moun, le a formé en phrase, yo dit comme ça que, oh, me and Jason, ou bien me and Eric, ou bien me and Tina, li pas bon. Même si moun nan ka comprendre nous, ça pas veut dire li bon. Gen an pile phrase ka parler dehors, although blanc ka comprendre nous, just because I can understand what you're saying, that doesn't mean that it's right. Okay? Now, this is the correct way to say it. He and I, okay? He and I, ou pas besoin de dire he and I. Okay? Ouais, j'aime traîner le m'appli. Moi, dit he and I had been friends for many years. Okay? Now, who is the subject? He and I. Okay? So these two, okay, the guy and myself were the subject. What happened to us? We had been friends for many years. Okay? Now, if you are reading the story, how long were they friends? Okay? They've been friends for many years before he became my husband. Okay? So this story is telling you the guy and I had been friends for a long time, for many years before he became my husband. Okay? So, two things happened in the past. What happened? First, we were friends for a long time, and then we became husband and wife. Okay? So, the first action that took place is he and I, we became friends for a very long time. And then the second action is later on down the line, we got married, we became husband and wife. Okay? Now, let's look at this one right here. Okay, guys? Whenever you have a positive, there is a negative. Okay? Quel importe là ou gen un positif, gen un négatif tout. Now, soit mette phrase là nan négatif, mais comment wap dit? I had not, I had not, okay? Now, when you are reading it, right now I'm doing it slow so you can hear what I'm saying, okay? But afterward, I will read it for you the normal way so you can know how to read it correctly, okay? First one, I had not eaten, okay? Ou pas di eating, no, ou di eaten, like you saying the number 10. I had not eaten at Red Lobster before I went yesterday, okay? Now, negative form nan ap djou kon sa ke gen deux actions oui qui rive, okay? What is the first action? I had not eaten at Red Lobster before I went yesterday. Another word, the story is telling you that like avant hier, m pat jam manje nan Red Lobster. M fon pile tan pa manje nan Red Lobster. Okay? The second action is yesterday I went to eat at Red Lobster. All right? If you are reading it the correct way, you're going to read it like this. I had not eaten at Red Lobster before I went yesterday. Okay? Next one. She had not been to the gym before she went last night. Okay? She had not been to the gym before she went last night. Okay? The two action that took place first, she had not been to the gym. Okay? Then last night she went to the gym. Okay? That is why. This is the key word right here, before. Okay? Ki vle djou kon sa ke avan hier soir, okay? Li pa nan gym nan. So if you're looking at this sentence carefully, ça vient montrer que last night qui vle di hier soir, c'est premier jour mal nan gym nan. Okay? Au lieu pour m'dou kon sa que, oh, this is the first time that I went to the gym. Simply m'ka dou kon sa que I had not been to the gym before last night. Et puis that's it. All right? Next one, okay? Now, this is the contraction form. This one and that one is the same thing, okay? This is hadn't, okay? We hadn't talked for 3 years before we talked this morning, okay? We hadn't talked for 3 years before we talked this morning, okay? Qui de action qui te rive? We talked this morning. That's one. Okay? The second action, we hadn't talked for 3 years. Okay? Qui veut dire que nous pas parlé pendant 3 ans avant que nous te parlé matin. Okay? We hadn't talked for 3 years before we talked this morning. All right? Next one. Bermude and Jason hadn't known each other for 4 months. Okay? Bermude and Jason hadn't known each other for 4 months before they married. Okay? Now, ou pa ka di marry. Okay? Since moun yo deja marié deja, ou suppose mette verb nan form simple past pour di married. Okay? This one is telling you Bermude and Jason hadn't known each other for 4 months before they married. Okay? Now, qui deux actions li do? Première action, yo kon lot seulement pendant 4 mois. Deuxième action, yo marié. Okay? So, they hadn't known each other for 4 months before they married. Next one. She had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Okay? Now, this is what I want you guys to know. Okay? Whenever you're saying a sentence, there are ways for you to form questions with them, okay? Si ou ka di yon phrase, ou pa ka forme question ensemble avec, ça veut dire que ou pas comprendre phrase là, ou pas comprendre ça à dire. Okay? So, look at this one carefully. When you pense que she had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. She had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. OK? Qui veut dire que à 8 heures, il était mangé breakfast. OK? She had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. OK? Now, if I want to form a question with that, all I have to do is, OK? I'm going to use this one. OK? Where ça? Deux mots ça yo, les wap former question avec n'importe phrase. All you have to do, prendre deux premiers mots yo et pour flip yo ou renverser yo. Okay? Now, I started with saying she had eaten breakfast. Okay? So les m'a virel, moi commence à had là. Had she eaten breakfast by 8 a.m.? Okay? Now, si m'pral répondre oui, li te mangé breakfast by 8 a.m., m'a do yes, she had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Si m'a répondre dans negative form là, m'a do no, she hadn't eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Okay? Yes, she had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Or no, she hadn't, ou bien she had not eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Okay? Qui tout dit she had not, ou bien she hadn't, yo vle di même bagay la. When you use she hadn't, this is the contraction form, okay? Pour faire moins plus court, okay? Next one. It had snowed before they left. It had snowed. One second, guys. It had snowed before they left. Okay? So if I'm forming questions with that, I'm going to put it like that. Had it snowed before they left? Had it snowed before they left? So if you are saying it the correct way, Mamdu, had it snowed before they left? Had it snowed before they left? Had it snowed before they left? Okay? If I'm saying yes, I'm gonna say yes. It had snowed before they left. Or no, it hadn't snowed before they left. Ou bien, it had not snowed before they left. Okay? So, I'm going to go over these one more time and I want you guys to listen carefully. I had visited Indiana before I moved there. Okay? First, I visited Indiana. Then, I moved there. These are the two actions that took place in the past. This is the first one, I visited Indiana. And the second one, I moved there. Next, Tina had bought the book before she read it. Okay? Two action happens. Before she read it, Tina had bought the book. Okay? First, Tina had bought the book. Then, she read it. Okay? Next, the bus had left by the time I got to the terminal. The bus had left, and then I got to the terminal. When I arrived, they had already started cooking. First, they had already started cooking, and then I arrived. I had owned my phone for 3 months before it broke. I had owned my phone for 3 months, and then it broke. Patrick had been lonely for a long time until he got a cat. Patrick had been lonely for a long time, and then he got a cat. He and I had been friends for many years before he became my husband. He and I had been friends for a long time, for many years, and then he became my husband. Now, this is the negative form. I had not eaten at Red Lobster before I went yesterday. First, I hadn't eaten at Red Lobster, then I went yesterday. She had not been to the gym before she went last night. She had not been to the gym, she went last night. We hadn't talked for 3 years before we talked this morning. We hadn't talked for 3 years, we talked this morning. Bermuda and Jason hadn't known each other for 4 months before they married. Bermuda and Jason hadn't known each other for 4 months. Suddenly, they married. Next one. She had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Had she eaten breakfast by 8 a.m.? Yes, she had eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. Or no, she hadn't eaten breakfast by 8 a.m. It had snowed before they left. Had it snowed before they left? Yes, it had snowed before they left. Or no, it hadn't snowed before they left. Okay? So, all of this is the past perfect. Okay? Là, c'est là on fait ensemble avec phrase pour expliquer qui soit qui arrive avant yon lot. Okay? This one right here, this is the negative form. C'est forme négative là pour dire que ou pas fait tel bagay avant tel bagay. OK? En bon créole, moi ka di kon sa que pas jam kon sorti avant me rencontrer Marie. Qui première action? Pas jam kon sorti. Qui deuxième action? Kounya m sorti, OK? L'autre virel nan bon anglais, tout bagay aurait été même gens, pas rien qui change, OK? Now, if tonight is the first time you are assisting my life, I want to take this time to welcome you all. If that's your second or third time, welcome again. My name is Mirda Lynn. We meet every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 p.m. If you have not subscribed with me on YouTube, after the live, go to YouTube, type my name, MYRDELINERAYMOND. That's where you'll be able to subscribe with me. Si à soir c'était première fois ensemble avec moi, m'abdou merci et m'abdou bienvenue. Si c'était deuxième ou troisième fois, m'a remercié encore. Non, moi c'est Mirdeline. Nous rencontrons chaque lundi, mercredi et vendredi à 7h30. Ou même qui peut abonner ensemble avec après live là, allez sur YouTube, tapez nom MYRDELINE c'est là où vous abonner ensemble avec. Que bon Dieu m'en béni ou que bon Dieu m'en guide ou que bon Dieu m'en fait autant ensemble avec ou même qui t'a remis un livre, c'est 2 livres pour $70 ou qu'à contacter sur WhatsApp 617 419 53 81 ou bien sous l'autre numéro 978 323 15 99. Listen up, guys. Starting tomorrow at 7 o'clock, OK? Commencez demain à 7h. Ou même qui pas qu'à passer test board CNN ou même qui pas qu'à passer examen home health aid là, moi pral faire cours ensemble avec nous sur l'autre page là. L'autre page là relé parler anglais avec Mirdeline. Parler PALE anglais ANGLAIS avec AVEK Mirdeline MYRDELINE. So, ou même qu'à l'école CNA, ou même qu'à laisser prendre boîte CNA ou pas qu'à passer, demain si Dieu veut à 7h sur l'autre page moyen, m'attend nous. And also guys, si vous t'arrêtez un monde faire coup privé ensemble avec relem moi ka aider ou. Sourete New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, South Carolina, Indiana, Ohio, Oklahoma, ou t'arrêtez un CNA temporaire, moi ka aider ou. And also, ou même qui t'a monde faire review ensemble avec ou bien test citizenship là. Ou pral prendre que si ou pas même gens encore, moi ka aider. Guys, please partagez live là pour moi, partagez le sous groupe, partagez la zami, partagez le partout. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next Monday at 7:30 p.m. God bless and stay positive. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.